Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are doing a 55% showcase on this new full power Frieza that just came out. So what we'll do is we'll just take a look at his kit really quick, and then we will look at the team build, and then we'll jump right into the showcase. So his leader skill is Sworn Enemies or Planet Namek, Key 3, and HP and Attack 170 and Defense 150. His leader skill is pretty solid. I think Goku's is definitely better. Like, there's just so much variety on Goku's team, but this leader skill is definitely good. And with all the support Planet Namek is getting right now, like, it's going to be better by the end of the celebration. So definitely a good leader skill. So Frieza and Goku are very similar. So if you watch my 55% on Goku, their passives are extremely similar, right? So Frieza basically on 12 key raises attack infinitely and causes Mega Colossal, which is the opposite of Goku. So he raises attack on 12 key and Goku raises defense on 12 key. They both do Mega Colossal on 12 key though, which is quite nice, right? And then on the 18 key, Frieza raises defense and does Mega Colossal. Initially looking at it, I like Frieza's better because defense is the stat you'd want to raise more often than attack, right? Defense stacking is way more important in this game, and having the defense on the stronger attack that you want to do matters more. Now, after like looking at their kits more and understanding them better, honestly, they're both just fine, because even with Goku getting the 12 key, they're both built to like do additionals in addition to their normal super. So they're kind of built in a way where like most turns you're going to get an 18 and a 12 key anyway, so they're both going to stack attack and defense, which is really, really cool, right? So when we look at the passive, he's key 2 in attack and defense 100%. He launches an additional super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack, which is similar to what Goku has. He has a medium chance of launching additional supers the second or third attack in a turn, which is similar to what Goku has. But he gets an additional attack and defense 100% for the first 6 turns from start of turn. So basically for the first 6 turns, he's attack and defense 200%, okay? Then he gets attack plus 50% starting from the 7th turn. So he basically loses 50% attack and 100% defense. He gets key plus 1 at the start of each turn up to 3, which I think Goku has that as well. He gets an additional 50% when there is a super class enemy. And then he performs a crit when there is an enemy whose name includes Goku. So he gets a guaranteed crit against Goku. Now, Frieza definitely has the better end of the passive there because there are so many Gokus in the game, whereas the Goku guarantee crits against Frieza, but there are way less Friezas in the game. So we are going to be running the Legendary Goku event, which basically means this guy has guaranteed crit. I honestly would say build this guy like full additional if you can. My Frieza, so for his equips, I put crits on because he's an AGL unit, so like you can't. The only one you can put additional on is the gold slot. So the gold slot I'm for sure putting additional once I open it up. But that's the reason why he has crit, is just because I had crit equips and I put him on. But in his hidden potential, you want to go like all in additional. Because like, if you're facing a Goku who's going to guarantee crit anyways, and sure, there'll be sometimes you won't. But then, you know, that's why you might have a little bit of crit from your equips. But getting the additionals on stacking units is just so important. I always want to prioritize that, right? So now, the thing with this Frieza to keep in mind on a 55% showcase is big bad bosses will not be active very often, if at all. So just keep in mind that the numbers he's doing is typically going to be like 25% attack and defense less, because big bad bosses at level 10 would always be active as long as you're linking him up appropriately, right? So what I chose to do is he actually has a couple of linking partners that are very good that are not big bad bosses units, so I can utilize those a little bit. So one unit you can link him up with is this guy. He links up pretty well, and he does have big bad bosses, so that's one where we can activate it. But he links up really well with this Frieza also, and he does not have big bad bosses. So one rotation will link him up with this guy, and one will link him up with the Tech Frieza, and we'll see what happens. I've got this guy floating around. He's a mini support if you're facing against the Goku family. He is actually 2 key, 20% attack and defense support, so we'll run him as a support. Kid Buu will be a support. He's the one that's liable to get us killed if that's going to happen, but we have him as a nice support unit. And then we're actually running the new Piccolo because he is a 40% attack and defense Namek Saga support, so he will support the Frieza. So we're going to toss him on and give him a try as well. Alright, so hopping in. Turn 1 here, you can see he links up very well with the Int Frieza here. Just missing big bad bosses and legendary power. Granted, that's a lot of attack on the table with those 2 links alone, right? So he's at 138k defense turn 1, which, you know, isn't the worst, but it's not the greatest, right? But keep in mind, this is like level 1 links, no big bad bosses, 55%, right? Let's see what he does attack-wise, though. This is kind of in like very little support. So look at that, 4.5 mil turn 1 without those 2 humongous links active, and all of his other links are only level 1. Yeah, that was pretty good actually. I'll take a 4 and a 5 mil attack stat. My gut feeling is that for those first 6 turns, Frieza's going to be hitting harder than the Goku. Then he's going to teeter off a bit, but with the stacking, like, both of them, like the Frieza and the Goku, they're just going to keep going, right? So this rotation will keep this Frieza on. I guess we'll keep him on with Piccolo for now, and then the Piccolo will cycle off next turn. Piccolo's kind of interesting in that he kind of needs to build up. So Piccolo's not going to look impressive here, but he just gets more passive every turn, and then the more attacks he does, he builds more passive. So fully built up, the Piccolo looks really, really good, right? But turn 1, he might be under a mil. So, but by the time he's built up, he might be 3 mil plus. Yeah, so he's just above a mil. So we'll see how much the Piccolo can build up, but this showcase really isn't on him, and he's going to be in slot 3 most of the time, so he might not even get fully built up by the end of this. We'll see. We'll just kind of keep an eye on him for when he gets attacks to see how he's doing. Alright, so this is the rotation I kind of want to run, is these two together. So you can see these two getting 5 out of 7 links. Just missing the big bad bosses and legendary power. 138k defense once again. We'll go ahead. And that's because I think we only got the 12 key last time. So let's get an 18 key so we can stack defense here. Okay, and then we'll have this Frieza attack at the end. Alright, let's see what we do turn 2. So he's about 4.5 mil turn 1. What's turn 2 look like? He's over 5 mil on turn 2. This is like bare bones 55%. This is like a freshly pulled Frieza. Like, nothing done to him. And then the additional for 4.3. And now this additional now is raising his attack. So I think the idea with this guy is that, like, like, he's going to be a monster the first 6 turns, which is going to get you through literally like 90% of the game, right? The only events that are longer than 6 turns are pretty much like Legendary Goku event. Super Battle Road sometimes can do that, but usually you're done with that by 6. Plus with all the power creep now, like, you're getting through that way faster. Like, the attack power is just crazy. So yeah, it's pretty much like your Infinite Dragon Ball History Legendary Goku event and the new event that just came out. Like, those longer events, that's the only place where maybe that 6-turn thing is going to fizzle out, right? Okay, so we have a nice support here with Piccolo. This is the friend one, by the way. He's at 153k defense. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I took a 55% friend. He does have a couple of equips on, and he's a little bit better linked up than mine for link leveling. But you can see we're only sharing 3 links here with this Frieza, but as this Frieza transforms, he will share more links. Okay. And then I'd like to get Piccolo a super. I don't think Piccolo will get a chance to attack, but just in case. No, not with the Tech Frieza there. There's no way Piccolo's getting an attack this turn. So 4.5 mil again. Very impressive. I felt the same way with Goku. Like, I feel like I don't really have to do much to these guys, and they're pretty just darn impressive right out of the box. Because remember, with these additionals, as long as they're getting hit first, these guys are putting up like 8-9 mil attack stats. If you combine the 2 attacks, this is like turn 1 55%, 8 to 9 mil attack stats. So something I mentioned about these guys is like they're good, but they're good in a different way than like UI Goku, right? Whereas UI Goku just has like so much utility with his dodging, revive mechanic. He's a lot flashier, like he does a lot more things, right? The Goku and Frieza, they're just like brute strength impressive, like defensively and offensive. They're like caveman impressive, right? So they're really fun. They're very, very good. I'm very happy that I was able to get them. Dude, this is 6 mil, and his links are level 1, and he's 55%. So he just put up an 11 mil attack stat. That's pretty wild, guys. So by the way, this is my first time seeing Frieza in action. Like, I'm just running in with him blind here for the first time recording my video, and I'm pretty darn impressed with that. I am actually very curious to see what a Rainbow Showcase of this guy looks like, because the attack stats have to be absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. So the bottom line here, guys, and part of the purpose of a 55% video is to show you like how good they are with just one dupe, because that's like the average player, right, can't afford to whale in like rainbow units right away. if you're looking for a good quality unit at 55%, the Goku and Frieza are it. Like, this is fantastic quality for your money, or for your stones. To just pull one copy of these guys and get out of the banner, like, they are fantastic. So 188k defense now for this friend Frieza. And the fact that they're stacking, their stacking works even better because they have LR stats and they have so much to work with. Like, the stacking is actually going to happen fairly quickly. So here's this Frieza at 4.77. Now keep in mind, I believe his 6-turn passive has fizzled. That's why his attack went down, but 4.7 mil and then a 3.8. This is after, like, he lost 100% attack and defense. And he's still doing, like, these numbers. Yeah, this guy's great. There's no doubt about it. Like, just incredible units, right? I don't know. I mean, we'll definitely go farther because they're stacking, right? So we want to see kind of like how they're going to perform in the long run here. Took a little bit of damage there, but that's because his defense has gone down a little bit from losing that passive. But because he's an infinite stacker, he's just going to keep going and we can keep stacking. So we're just going to kind of monitor their stats as we go through here. And we'll just see how they're looking, right? So, I mean, we're already up to Strength UI Goku. Like this is turn 7. Turn 7 and we're already on Strength UI. Like, we're just blitzing through this, right? So yeah, this Frieza is down to 165k defense. We'll see what the attack stat looks like. We're going to get an 18 key, so we're going to get the stacks in, which is good. And then if Piccolo gets a chance, we'll see kind of what he's doing on the end there. Alright, so we've got 5.5. That's still really solid. Keep in mind, he got hit, so this is only half of his attack stat. So he's going to do a 5.5 followed up by what? Followed up by 4.4. So, yeah, that's basically a 10 mil attack stat. 10 mil attack stat still. So this guy's been putting out... Oh, and okay, sure. We'll make it like a 15 mil attack stat. Why not? So this guy basically has been putting up 10 mil plus attack stats since turn 1 at 55%. With no link leveling at all. And no big bad bosses, by the way. And big bad bosses and like legendary power are like crazy and impressive links, right? So I don't know, guys. I'd say this Frieza wins. He's a great unit. That attack hurt pretty bad though. Piccolo just put up a just under 2 mil attack stat here. I gotta pay attention here. How did I take all that damage? Was that? Oh, sure. That physical Frieza had type disadvantage and hadn't really stacked. So, yeah, you kind of have to be careful here. So, this is a turn here where, like, the Kid Buu would get us killed, but I'm pretty sure Frieza's going to kill him here. And we'll bust off the active skill and see how much damage we do with the active skill. These active skills, by the way, are way better than people originally thought. When reading them, so the active skill, and I think I forgot to read this basically, but basically you just have to be facing a single superclass enemy, and the enemy's health has to be 30% or less. So it's meant to be a finishing blow like that and get the KO screen. So a lot of people thought your health had to be below 30%. The fact that just the enemies have to be below 30 makes it way better. And he just did a 6 mil crit on that to finish him off. That was very, very impressive. All right. I don't know that I'm going to use any items here, so I'm just going to kind of keep going until basically he kills us or we kill him. We'll just see what happens. But I'm glad I got that active skill in the video. We're up to 180k defense. This should do some decent healing. And then how's my physical Frieza? Oh, physical, he's stacking up pretty nice now. 230k. This should do some nice healing. Yup. And don't forget my tech transforming Frieza. He's also healing just when he shows up. So we could very quickly heal this back depending on what UI Goku decides to do here. But double digits normals against him is good. 5.6 attack stat. Because he's stacking, right? That's why that's going up now, even though this other part of his passive went away. Yeah, that's pretty great. And then a 4.5. Yeah, so like very easy and casually we're just putting up 10 mil plus attack stats with this guy. He's absolutely crazy, dude. I'm actually a really big fan now. Like, as hype as everything's been, like, I'm even more excited for what's to come. So, like, we still have AGL transforming UI Goku to come. We have the rest of the Ginyu Force. I still think we potentially could have an LR Ginyu Force EZA on the way, and I think we could have Strength Namek Goku EZA on the way. So I know there's plenty they didn't tell us in the Dokkan now that we're going to be getting. How bad? Yeah, that's not going to hurt. Yeah, that in Frieza is great, by the way. All right, and we're up to final transformation here. Wow, we almost finished off UI Goku before getting final transformation. That's how much damage this full power Frieza is doing. And he's pretty much carrying the damage here, right? Like, the Tech Frieza is doing a lot of damage too, but like, the AGL one a lot of times doesn't even give him a chance. So yeah, now we're up over 200k defense. So feeling a lot more solid there. Watch the healing here. Very nice heal. And we've got, that's how fast we were. We got to the, we hadn't hit our Dokkan attack yet. So if you're running teams with this Goku and Frieza, to me, like, the way this run is going, it feels very much like running GT Heroes, where you are just obliterating everything. The thing with GT Heroes, though, it's a little bit more balanced, where it's like the whole team is putting up ridiculous numbers, right? Whereas this team build I'm running right now, it's pretty much being carried by the full power Frieza and maybe this tech transforming one. I mean, the physical one's good too, it's just they're not putting up 10 mil attack stats, right? Like, just insane. When you're running GT Heroes, it's like everyone's doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mil attack stats on the team. Even the like support units, if you're running like the Goten and Gohan card and like the Trunks and Goten, like they're doing like multiple supers of like 2, 3 mil attack stats. It's just pretty wild. But yeah, there you go. This UI Goku pretty much done here. He should die to this Tech Frieza unless he dodges. 6 mil from him, by the way. That's very good attack stat compared to what he used to do. Alright, so that was probably one of my quicker runs of the UI of the Legendary Goku event. So anyways, guys, I think this full power Frieza is fantastic. He's definitely worth going in for a copy. If you're like a free-to-play pay player or like low to pay, don't feel like you have to get dupes. Like, he's so good at 55%. Like, just have fun with him for now. And then here's the other thing. Look at how much Gohan and like the physical Boo came back, and like the Int Cell, like those other worldwide celebration characters, they come back all the time. So do not stress about trying to get dupes on these guys right now. They're going to show up a whole bunch later on. Just get one of each and you'll be definitely happy. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this Frieza. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.